Welcome to the Hear and Heard podcast. I am your podcast host, Emily. I want this to be a safe space for all women to tell their stories, grieve the hard parts, and celebrate themselves. Thank you for being here.
Welcome back. We are with Kylee again, part 2 of your birth story. So we ended last time off with you. You had your non-stress test and you were leaking because your water broke and you were leaking.
Yes.
And you got wrapped up in a sheet.
Yes.
And Griff pushed you out of the hospital.
Wheeled me out of the hospital. Yeah. We were talking about it last night too and he's like, "Did I just wheel you out of there?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, you straight up just wheeled me out of the hospital."
Baby.
And so yeah, it was really fun to relive that because it was really funny to be wheeled out of a hospital
when you're
going into labor.
Yes, because typically you're wheeled in.
We were just
instead of out the other way. I love it.
Funny.
So cool. Okay, so you went home.
Yes. Well, we went to Walgreens. We stopped at Walgreens.
Okay.
We went to Walgreens and he got a bunch of Monsters. I remember yesterday, I couldn't remember if it was Red Bull or Monsters. A bunch of Monster.
Yeah.
And snacks and things like that. Because he's like, "I got to prep."
Yeah.
And I think he went into the Walgreens and I stayed in the car. And that's when I started telling people from the parking lot, being like, "Hey, just so you know, this is what's going on."
So
telling our
doula
families.
and midwife. Yeah. Or just your families?
Our families. I'm trying to remember. I'm sure I called doula too.
Okay.
Or honestly, I probably was talking to her at the hospital now that I think about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I remember being like, the ultrasound tech won't let me leave. She was making sure that there was a policy of some sort where they were like, my policy is once I start, I have to be able to see X, Y, Z. So that was their policy. So she was just following the rules for her job. But I remember contacting my doula, I think, and being like, "This is what's going on. I think my water broke. I can't tell if I put pants."
Okay.
And then communicating with her throughout of like, "Hey, we're gonna start going home."
Okay. So you got your snacks and Monsters
and Griff's Monsters.
Could you imagine downing a Monster yourself as you're going into labor?
Mine would be like orange Celsius, probably not a Monster. Orange, the orange sparkling Celsius.
Oh my Lanta. Okay.
But anyways.
So you got home.
Yes.
What did you do first?
I scarfed down Sloppy Joes.
Yeah.
Had pre-made a huge batch of Sloppy Joe meat because that's one of my favorite nostalgic comfort foods. Reminds me of childhood. So I scarfed down 2 Sloppy Joes.
I love it.
And then I got in the bathtub because I really love, I love baths in general, but during pregnancy, I really loved taking a bath.
Yeah.
Just to with your big old belly in the bathtub and
this I don't know. Belly and just stare at it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, exactly. You get it. Or you to move and stuff while you're just chilling there. And so I'm gonna go take one last bath with her. I'm gonna go do that. And so I did that for a while. And then once it started looking up, I remember going downstairs into the kitchen and just doing swaying at the kitchen counter.
Yeah.
Doing some bouncing on the wall and some swaying and stuff like that. And I don't remember how long I hung out there, but I was hung out at the counter for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then at what point did your doula come?
I feel like she came. So we probably got home. Let's see. We were at the hospital in the afternoon. So we probably got home by 4 o'clock. And so I feel like she probably came at 9-ish.
Okay.
I was still in super early labor. When I was eating those Sloppy Joes, nothing, I didn't even feel the contractions really at that point. I was super easy going.
Yeah.
And so once I started swaying at the counter, I think is when Griff was taking videos of, "Here's what's going on. What do you think? Do you want to come?" And so I don't totally remember exactly what time she came, but I remember, and maybe this is why I don't remember, my husband was the one that was communicating with her. It wasn't me.
Which was nice.
Yeah. It was Griff being like, "Here's what she's doing. What do you think? Here's what's going on." They probably didn't love it because I feel like he was more anxious than me. And so he was often being like, "Maybe we should call them. Maybe we should call them. Maybe we should call her and see what she thinks." But yeah, so I think she came probably at 9.
But that is part of the job of a doula too, is just to kind of be the knowledge base for you and for your partner. So even if, whether she was there or not, if he was feeling anxious and asking the doula quite a few questions, that's okay because that's her. That's part of her job. That's part of her role.
And I think that's why I really liked her too when we talked with her, is she did sessions with me, but most of our pre-birth doula sessions were us together, and Griffin was always part of it.
Yeah.
Griffin was always just, yes, you're assumed that you are the birth partner. You are the one that's,
yeah.
and so I think she did a really good job of just, he was put into those roles, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
He just
absolutely.
didn't even have the option to not. And so she did a really good job. I agree, of supporting him and kind of giving him insight
That's so good.
into what was going
I
on.
love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so she showed up. Things are maybe intensifying a little bit.
Yeah.
And then what did you like? How did it go when the doula got there? Where did you go from there?
I remember after she came, it was picking up quite a bit. Like contractions were getting a lot more intense. And so that's when she told me to go labor on the toilet.
Okay.
Which was amazing, dude.
Sitting backwards
on the toilet. It was so cold. And so I'm just like,
and you have a spot to rest your head.
I'm literally just laying on the toilet, and she's just sitting in there. And I think we had like a little laser light moment going on. So he was upstairs with, or the little, he's an astronaut, so he has an identity. A little laser light was up in the bathroom with us, like doing the galaxy on the ceiling, very dark, lots of lights off.
Yeah, just a nice ambiance.
Quiet,
Yeah.
chill. And so while I was laboring on the toilet, that's when Griff started getting the birth pool, or like birthing tub ready. So that I could get in there, because it was starting to feel
Really
like we
pick up.
would really want it.
Okay, so then after the birth pool was ready, you went down there. Okay, and then did the doula stay upstairs with you and kind of help you work through contractions?
Yeah.
Yep, and then came downstairs with you,
Yep.
obviously. I'm
Yeah.
saying upstairs and downstairs.
Yep, yeah,
Okay,
you're
yeah,
exactly
okay.
right. Yeah. Yeah, our bathroom was upstairs, so she's in the bathroom with me. I have some photos of me laboring on the toilet from her. That was her other job that she did a really good job at, was
so
documenting us,
amazing.
like for us, so that we didn't have to worry about that. And so I have some really sweet photos of like Griff supporting me and like pushing, like, I don't remember what it's called, where you like push on your
like
hip.
the counter pressure.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Doing a lot of counter pressure.
Did she take notes too?
She did. She wrote down, I think we were saying this yesterday. She like wrote down my whole birth story, and I can't find it, so I need to dig a little deeper in my Gmails. I don't know which Gmail it came from, but yeah, and that was really wonderful, because she sent it to me a little later, a few days after my birth, and was like, "Hey, I did this for you.
I love that.
Please talk about it with people." She's like, "You're not going to remember everything as time goes on." And she's like, "And if you want to, I wanted you to have this in case you do want to."
That is so
remember.
sweet.
She's a very good doula.
Remember like having that right in my mind. I'm like, I'm gonna remember every single thing forever and ever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
And like by the 10th time I told my story, I'm like, okay, I'm forgetting things already.
No, that's
so how cool to have the pictures and the full story right now.
Yeah,
that's
it was really
cool.
wonderful. Yeah, she even had timestamps of at this time is when you started laboring on the toilet.
I love it.
And yeah, it was really sweet.
What a gift.
Yeah, she's lovely.
That's so cool. Okay, so you go downstairs, get in
tub.
Get in the tub.
My husband had done a really good job of making it really, really warm.
Too warm?
A little too warm, which he was really worried about making sure it was hot enough. So we had a hose connected to the upstairs shower.
Okay.
That then ran down our steps, through the railing, through the kitchen, and into the dining room.
Yeah, a lot of hose.
We had to get a big hose.
Yeah.
Literally, I think I was like 36, 37 weeks, and we went to Home Depot, and I bought a tarp, a hose, just like a bunch of random shit where I was like, we're either like murdering someone or we're giving birth.
That was my thought. A tarp, a hose.
I can't remember what else we had to get. I'll have to find it. I have like a funny Instagram story that I posted, but that I was like, here's what we got. But all that to say, we had a hose running, filling up the birth tub, and then he also had 4 pots on the stove. Boiling water, so that he could really make sure that they were really hot and warm. And so I got in, and it felt so good. And then we actually turned the hose on cold, so I'm in the hot birth tub, and then have cold hose in my hand, and I'm just kind of like rubbing it all over my
That
belly.
sounds glorious.
It was so good. And then around, I don't remember exactly what time this is, but it's gotta be like 11 o'clock. Actually, it's probably later than 11 o'clock
Okay.
because my midwife did show up while I was in the tub.
Okay.
And that's when she took out the Doppler and checked the heartbeat and was like, girl, get out of the tub.
Too hot.
Tub's too hot. Her heart rate's not where I want it to
Yeah,
be.
yeah,
Like, she
okay.
was fine. We weren't worried, but she's like, get out of the tub. I was like, okay, fine.
It feels so good.
She's like, you did too good of a job. It's a little too hot. Which I didn't know was a thing, but that makes a lot of sense. And so yeah, we had to cool it down. Take some water out, leave the cold hose in.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
And so yeah.
So where did you go after you got out of the tub for there?
So before labor picked up, before I went in the tub, like the upstairs bathtub, my husband pulled up a mattress that we had, an extra mattress that we had. And so we just literally plopped it right in the living room.
Yeah.
So it was like couch, mattress. And so that was my
nice.
other home base was like, and I would just kind of go back
And
and
your tub
forth.
must have been in
So
like the dining room.
yeah, birthing tub's in the dining room that's like literally connected to the living room.
Yeah.
So it was like 10 feet between the two.
Oh,
and so it was so nice
nice
to just have a different options of
Yes,
places
and
to
being able to
go.
move without having to like go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So then you had your little astronaut.
Yep, he's
shining.
he's shining in the dining room at this point. Once the birth, I don't know exactly who moved it or anything.
Somebody did it.
It's so
for you.
funny. Yeah, it's so funny. I remember the big pieces, but like I don't know, somebody did. And so I had, my galaxy lights on the ceiling. I think Griffin had put on Juno is my favorite movie, favorite comfort movie.
It.
So we had Juno on in the background. And then before I gave birth, I had made up a bunch of mantras or affirmations.
Yeah.
And so those are kind of taped to my counter right next to the birth pool. So I could just read them and be like, oh yeah, I remember why I picked out these ones that I did, why they resonated with me. And my husband kind of teased me for it a little bit before I started, before I was in labor, when I made them.
And then
and I brought them home and printed them out. And he was like, okay, like you can do hard things. Like, I don't remember exactly what he said, but I remember him being like, okay, Kylie, whatever. But really, those were so grounding, during labor. And it felt a little silly too, but it's so funny how that's just so grounding for your brain.
Absolutely. And especially things that you picked that worked well for you.
Exactly.
And how cool that you can like nest your little birthing nest.
I think that's one of my favorite parts about getting to have the home birth was like picking all of my things. Like I had my favorite foods. I had exactly how I wanted my movie on the TV. And so that was a really fun piece and that's something that I think about when I think about having more children, because that's in our plans, is I get excited to think about now that we're in a different home. Oh, I wonder what the next one's going to be. Which room am I going to put the tub in and things like that.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's a really sweet piece of it.
Instead of having to go to the hospital and try to set things up
like
there.
Twinkly lights. Or having to deal with like the monitors beeping, or I guess I've never had a hospital birth, but I can imagine like the lighting even.
And somebody like walks in and they're like, okay, the light is too dim. We gotta go back up so I can see.
And you're like, oh yeah.
No, please don't.
Like my house was, most of my birth photos, as sweet as they are, like you can't see, like I know what's going on, but like most of my birth photos are like dark. Not super well lit.
But that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. So went on the mattress, cooled the tub down.
Yes.
And when did your midwife get there? And there was 2, right?
Yeah. So I have my midwife that I hired, and then my midwife always brings a backup midwife with her.
Okay.
And so it could, like, she just picked. It's not like I got to choose or hire
There's
someone
probably
separate.
some like rotation.
She has some agreements where they help each other with each other's births. And so I think just the first midwife came first, and
Okay.
then the second one came kind of right before I think I gave birth or when things were really getting close. But once my midwife came, Katie, it was kicking me out of the tub
Yeah.
because of the
Yes.
heart rate.
Yeah.
And then I genuinely don't remember how long she was there, but
Okay.
I remember my doula being a little resistant at first to calling her because
Okay.
I went into labor that afternoon.
Yeah.
It's been less than 12 hours.
And they're thinking it could
They
be 24 plus hours.
and I think what was happening is when I would go onto the mattress, or one of the times that I went onto the mattress, I spent a good chunk of time on the mattress.
Mhm.
And I was talking to my husband about this last night. I was out of my body.
Okay.
Like, I was aware of things that were going on.
Yeah.
I was aware that people were talking.
Mhm.
But I just didn't have the ability to like open my eyes or
Yeah.
engage. And so
Yeah.
I remember them talking about like, oh, I think maybe she's slowing down because I was just like gone.
Oh,
And so they're like, maybe
interesting.
she's like
And you think they thought you were resting? Yeah.
sleeping. Maybe it seems like she's slowing down because at one point, like my doula had told Griff, like maybe you should go rest.
Okay.
And so my doula was a little resistant to like call the midwife because of that.
Yeah.
And I think it was on the mattress when I was like, "You gotta wake her up." Because the doula had went to go rest.
Take a nap.
Yes,
Okay.
she went to
Okay.
go rest too when she was talking to my husband.
Thinking like everyone needs to rest so
Yes,
that because we're gonna be here.
because we're gonna be here for
Okay.
a little bit.
Gotcha.
And so now that I'm talking about all of this was before the midwife
Okay.
came. And so I think she napped for about an hour.
Okay.
And she was like, "Go, please get some rest." And he's like, "Haha, funny story. I'm
not
not going to
leaving.
sleep."
Yeah.
And he also was like doing constant acupressure on my
Oh,
hands.
okay.
That was like the biggest thing. And it was really fun to talk through last night because I had said, made a joke about how he, the next
his
day was
thumbs.
like, my thumbs just hurt
Yeah.
so bad. Okay. So then last night when I was talking to him
Yeah.
about how we had a conversation, he's like, "Oh yeah, oh my God, Kylie, I know not to like," and I just broke out laughing. And he's like, I know you gave birth, but really, Kylie, I had to do that for a long time." And so apparently the acupressure was really what I really liked, and I don't remember this.
Interesting.
He's like, "If I let go of your hands," he's like, "it was like 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off." And he's like, "And if I let go and you needed it, I would do this at him." And I was like, "I don't remember any of that. That's so
That is
interesting."
so
And
interesting.
he's like, "So I was pushing on your points for hours."
Wow. Okay.
And so I'm like, "Okay, fine, that's valid." He's
Okay,
like, "I
that's
know that
you.
you were the one that gave birth, and
Yeah,
that was
also.
really hard on my
Poor little
So, that was another way that I used comfort measures,
Okay.
and made it through the birth
So
without
that is
medication.
so interesting that you talk about that because I feel like I had that experience. I don't know, out of body or just kind of felt high
Like,
with
I felt
both
like
of
I was
my
kinda, like, up here.
births. Yes. And I remember at one point the midwives coming in and I was kind of hearing things, but I just did not register what was going on.
Right.
And then I kind of came back to when the contraction ended and they're like, "Are you sleeping? Like, how are you doing?" I was like, "No, I think the contractions are pretty intense, actually.
You're like,
I'm
"I'm
just like
absolutely not
trying
asleep."
to get through this."
Yeah. Yeah, no, literally, like, your brain just, like, takes over and, like,
Yeah,
shuts down
yeah. And like
and
your
is
body
like,
just
"We're
kind of
just gonna make it through
knows
this."
what to do, I feel like, to support you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, cool. So husband woke Jula up.
Yeah.
We called the midwife.
Yeah.
Midwife comes.
Yes.
And then tell me about end of labor, starting to push.
Yeah.
Where were you? All of that.
Yeah, so at some point I got back in the tub, couldn't tell you when. But at some point I moved from being like above myself on the mattress to
Yeah.
back into the tub, and what felt the best for me was squatting and then arms up on the edge of the tub. And
Oh,
so my
interesting.
belly's
Okay.
towards the wall of the tub, arms up, and I'm
Yeah.
squatting, and that's what felt the best.
So your feet were planted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my husband's on a chair outside of the birth tub because he didn't want to get in, which is
Fair.
valid on his part. He cleaned it for me though, so he made up for it by cleaning it out. You don't have to get in it, but you do have to clean it out. And so he's on a chair and kind of over top of me, arms over me, rubbing me, whatever. And I just remember my body just took over.
Yeah.
No one told me to push. No one counted my pushing. No one was like, okay, stop or go or anything like that. My body was just like, we're going to do it. It just does it. It's so interesting, like this instant urge that you have to do it.
Yeah.
And so that was happening. And I just remember the only time I was like, I can't do this. My midwife's like, Kylee just reached down really quick and her head was halfway out. And they're like, you are doing it.
Yes.
And I was like, okay. Like was, it was just so crazy to feel like, no, I'm literally on the precipice of this.
Yeah.
In the next few minutes, my baby's going to be here.
Yeah.
We are going to be done with this. You made it through.
Yeah.
It felt very much like I can see the finish line.
Yes. Yeah.
And then she was born maybe a couple pushes after that.
Oh my goodness.
And so my midwife caught her.
Okay.
And I was still in the squatting position, so I kind of like had to awkwardly move a leg, and then I got handed her through my legs. And then I just turned over and leaned back and hugged my baby and just kind of stared at my husband like like it's wild to hold them immediately after you give birth to them. It's a crazy feeling.
Right. And I feel like just like the baby high too, when you finally have them on your chest and you're just like, there's no bliss other than that.
That's a really good word, bliss.
And you're so proud of yourself and relieved and excited and all.
Yeah. And it's like the end of one thing, but the beginning of something different. You're like, fun. We ended that journey. We're done being pregnant now, but now we get to go on this other cool, fun journey together where we actually get to take care of it. And look at it and like see it, her,
girl.
Whatever. The kid, baby. I just remember just staring at my husband and being like, what the heck?
That's so wonderful. Oh my gosh. So you guys probably hung out there for a little bit.
Yes.
And then
she went to him.
Okay.
Because I have a really sweet photo of them. Oh, actually, you know what? She went to my doula first. And then my doula handed her to him, to which she then proceeded to unleash all of her meconium all over him. And he was like,
okay.
Because he has minimal experience with babies, does not know a lot about birth, did not really know about meconium, and was like, what is this? He's like, oh my gosh. And so he was taking care of her, snuggling her, holding her, sitting with her, while I was with my midwife kind of working on doing the placenta. I don't know what word to use.
Getting the placenta out.
Birthing the placenta? Yeah. I was like, I don't know what word to use, but like the placenta, it's called something management. I don't know. But whatever. Getting the placenta out, taking care of that part, which I did that also in the birth as well.
Okay. And then I'm guessing she helped you clean up a little bit, check for any tearing.
Yeah. I went back to the mattress. And my husband likes to tease me about this one too. I went back to the mattress. There's a photo of me post-birth, naked on the mattress, just laid out, spread eagle, exhausted. I'm done.
Yeah.
The most flattering photo you have ever seen of me. And so she made sure and was checking, making sure that there wasn't any tears or anything that I needed like more medical care for. And I think I tore a little, what is it? There's like different degrees. I think I had like second degree or something. And so I tore a little bit, but nothing where I needed stitching or further medical attention. She's just like, yeah, that'll heal. Like that'll work on its own. And then they tucked us into bed. They put me and my husband in bed and we weighed her in bed. And so my midwife just put her in the little weighing sling and held her up like a little fish. I have a picture of that too. You just see her little toes sticking out of the sling. And then they brought me my snacks, brought me some drinks, and set us up. And they turned off the lights and they were like, I think you guys should all go to sleep. I was like, are you guys? You're just. They're like, the laundry started. They started a load of laundry. They're like, laundry started. Like, we'll talk to you later. Like, bye. And I was like, it's like 7 a.m. You're just gonna leave me with this baby,
right? This is a human I have to take care of.
Yeah, I did not go to sleep. I did not. No way. Not. I stared at my baby and I think it was like little kids on Christmas. Like me and my husband are just like, like
so cute.
Yeah, looking at her and poking her little cheekies, and like I have a picture of my husband pooping her little nose, just like already antagonizing her and being like, you have funny weird parents. And then just spent the next couple of days chilling in bed and hanging out at home.
And then when did your midwife come back to check on you?
So she did, I think it was 24 hours, and then maybe 2 days after the 24 hours. And then I think 3 days after that. And then she did like consistent care for me and her up until 6 weeks postpartum. And so she was the one who did all of her newborn stuff, her screening and her heel poke and her hearing test and things like that. And she was spectacular. And I really loved that all of my postpartum care was done in my living room. On my mattress. That mattress lived in the living room for about 6 months.
Advice to new parents.
Put a mattress in the living room.
It's probably glorious.
It was, because we would just chill and watch TV, because we're not TV in the bedroom people. So that was our home base. We just always kind of hung out in that area.
And I feel like sometimes too, this is a little bit off topic, but sometimes people get like the sundown blues or like the nighttime scaries. And sometimes hosting out in the living room feels less scary and intimidating than going to your bedroom. You know what I mean? So that would be I'm sure a mattress in the living room. That sounds wonderful.
And I think it just kind of, I was gonna say, helped us feel, it felt a little like novel versus like, okay, I need to go back to this routine. It just gave us an opportunity or an excuse to be like, this is our life. Like, we're gonna eat DoorDash on the mattress in the living room because we just had a baby, and we're gonna watch. We watched so many seasons of Alone. That was our show. Like, literally, that baby's first exposure to television was Alone. We went through multiple seasons the first few weeks.
I love it.
And like, that was more than valid to do that. Like, you don't need to rush back into your routine.
You don't need to rush back into your routine.
You don't need to put the baby in the crib. Like,
that's like the hardest thing. There's so much, I feel like, external pressure and sometimes internal pressure of like, okay, immediately I got to start moving. We got to get our house back together. We got to get in a routine. Baby's got on the crib and be on a schedule and like all this stuff. And like, how great to just be like, Matt, I'm posting it on the mattress in the floor. TV's on. Got our snacks. We're good.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love
just
that.
Like pass out when I was tired.
Yeah.
And wake up when I was not tired and just chill. And I loved the way that we did all of that.
That's such a good idea. I love that. Did your doula come back too and check on things?
Yes, she came, I think, within 24 or 48 hours. She came back pretty quick as well. And she brought her sister, Maria Antonescu. Her sister is also a really great doula.
Oh, cool.
And so they came because they do some craniosacral work.
Oh, okay.
And so they came and taught us some stuff to do with her.
So cool.
Like have you ever done the thing where you like hold them upside down by their feet? She taught us that, and they just showed us some exercises to do with her that could help her adjust to life outside of the uterus. And they also did some like lactation stuff because she was having a hard time latching. And so they did some support there with me
Okay.
and like kind of troubleshooting that. So the craniosacral stuff was just like not because she had we didn't have worries or anything. It was just like helping her adjust.
Yeah.
The latch thing ended up being a tongue tie. We had to get that revised. And then I feel like that's really when latching
Gotcha.
got a lot
Interesting.
better.
Okay. How cool.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I love it. So how did I mean, we talked about the mattress. How did your postpartum experience go?
It was decent. Like I definitely had blues. I remember talking to my midwife at one point. I was very down, very sad. And she was really helpful in that this is a normal thing. Like I think you feel guilty too when you're feeling like that because you're supposed to be happy and excited or whatever. And I think it's like, yes, I'm happy and excited. And it's like maybe when that realization hits you of this is our first kid. And so like this realization of like, whoa, my life is now very different.
Totally changed. Yeah.
But that I was sad for a little bit at the beginning, and then I feel like more later on, after a month or two, is when I started feeling a lot more rage.
Okay.
Or what I didn't know was rage.
Yeah.
But like
feeling
the feeling of just I want to clench my fists and grind my teeth, and I am not the person who ever really gets angry to the point of yelling or screaming. And so the rage was really hard because there was a lot of shame that came in.
Yeah.
Why do I want to yell at a screaming baby when I know that she's just a baby
And just needs me.
and she just needs me,
But
and I want to yell at her?
Yeah.
Like, how horrible am I?
Yeah.
To not. Yeah.
I understand the feeling. Yeah.
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 And so that was something that I just worked with my therapist more at that point because I was it was post like talking to, or it was like after my services ended with my midwife. And so working through that with my therapist was really helpful, and just talking, and I still have to do this, like talking with her a lot about like you're allowed to feel feelings, and like it's when you put the shame on it, and it's when you like don't give yourself grace or compassion that it just like really
it just
builds.
exacerbates and builds.
Good word.
And the thing is, it's like shaming yourself does nothing for you or for your baby at all. Like it just, and it's hard. It's so hard. I remember having rage with my second. I did not feel anxious, depressed, ragey with my first. Like end of pregnancy with my end of pregnancy with my second, I started to feel a little weird, but it wasn't like, I don't know. It was fine.
It's funny that you say that because like the last few weeks of my pregnancy, the amount of men that I wanted for talking to me, I would just be so
like
mad.
I was like short-tempered.
Yes.
And impatient. I was like, this is not me, but
like you're like people just genuinely trying to be kind to you in public, and I'd be like, don't talk to me.
Yes. Right. And then it was like, again, I didn't know it was rage at all.
Exactly.
But I started to feel so angry, and like the phrase "seeing red" finally understood that. I was like, you know what I mean? And there was so much shame and like embarrassment. I didn't want to talk to my husband. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I want it just like all right here. You know what I mean?
I don't want to like say it.
Yeah.
Like acknowledge it kind of thing.
Right.
Because then I have to like
work through it and answer questions.
Or it's real.
People, or it's real.
Or it's like if I name it, that's a real thing then, and it's not just like, oh, I'm just a one-off. Like that was a one-off thing.
Yeah. And I remember talking to my daughter's pediatrician. I just like was feeling cruddy enough that I filled out the survey like truthfully.
Yeah, where it's like, how are you? And you're like, fine.
Yeah.
And so this time you're like,
not really great. And he
actually
talked to me about it. It was so nice. And he had said that his wife had gone through similar things, and it just was, I don't know, like the office is so little, and it was just like, it felt like a really nice safe space to get it out there, but it's just still here. And yeah, I don't know. And then I feel like as that fog started to clear later on, I was like, wow, that was not fun.
Well, and I think going back to the naming it thing, you don't wanna name it, and then you finally do acknowledge it,
Yeah.
and someone gives you space or holds space for you,
Yes.
and that
Yes.
literally I can imagine the feeling of relief that I felt of
Yeah.
just when I finally decided, "Okay, I'm not going to shame myself for these
Yeah.
emotions that I'm feeling. Instead,
Right.
I'm going to recognize that they're real and
Yeah.
that they deserve a response,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna come up with the right response or what I need to be
Yeah.
doing instead of just ignoring it and hoping it goes away."
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
that makes a huge difference too, just putting it out
Right.
there.
Right. Because when you're feeling that, it's not you're not thinking logically. You know what I mean?
No,
Because
yeah.
we can sit here and talk and be like, well, yeah, my child is screaming, but she's 3 months old, so why am I angry? You know what I mean? But when you're in the moment, you're not you don't have that
Mhm.
logic.
And I wonder too, now that I'm, like, sitting and reflecting, going back to her having a poor latch, I had to triple feed her.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I would breastfeed her 20 minutes on each side, and then I would pump, and then I
Mhm.
would give her
Mhm.
a bottle, and
Yeah.
then I would clean all of my pump parts and
Yeah.
have 20 minutes before I had to do it
Do it
again.
again. Yeah.
And so I would think a lot about, oh, how much I didn't give myself enough grace.
Yeah.
Thinking back, if I was sitting here right now with that me, I'd be like, "Oh, girl, you're carrying
Yeah.
so much. Of
Yeah.
course,
Right.
doing all of that, and then the baby's still screaming anyways. Of course, you're gonna
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like over your head, upset."
Yeah.
Oh,
And I think too some of like the guilt of she's not latching. This is my fault and I have to do all these extra things and I have to pump because my poor little baby is not getting enough from me and just all
mhm.
that just all wraps into
Um, that was probably like the worst time postpartum was my midwife had come. It was maybe a week or a week and a half of post-birth not having good latch, and my midwife weighed her and was like, "She's lost
lost
too
weight.
much weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to go take her into the," and so she sent me to Essentia's lactation clinic to
Okay.
get a more thorough support, I
Yeah.
suppose,
Yeah.
and, like, doing weighted feeds and things like that. But I just remember, like, driving in the car to a lactation clinic, like, we weren't even taking her to urgent care, I wasn't
Yeah.
taking her anywhere, and I was just sobbing, "I have to take her to the
Yeah.
doctor," and it's like, she's a baby, of course she's gotta go to the
Yeah.
doctor.
Right. Right.
Oh, and yeah, how much, yeah, you put it on yourself, or,
On
like, you
yourself.
feel so much guilt
Yeah.
for that.
So moms to be, if you're listening to this.
Please hug yourself.
Yes.
Like, give
Yes.
yourself the hugs or ask other people for the
And
hugs
grace
and,
and
like,
hope.
yeah, and, like, verbalize it, and don't think that it's just you or
Yeah.
think that
You're
you're a bad
failing or a
person
bad person,
or a
any
bad
of that.
mom.
Yeah.
You are not
You're not at
at
all.
all. Like,
Yeah.
I think we're both pretty good moms.
Yuck, yeah.
Haven't, like, actually watched your parenting, but I can tell.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, that doesn't, and it goes away
Yeah,
is the other thing. It does get
it
better.
does. And if you need more support or help or medication or therapy or whatever,
Yeah,
that's okay and valid and
very valid.
just part of your journey.
Absolutely.
Yes. So my last question for you is what do you want your daughter to know about your journey to becoming her mother?
I want my baby to know that even though she was unplanned and came at a time that we were not expecting, um, at the beginning of our conversation, I talked about universe signs,
Yeah.
and she is just my ultimate universe sign. Um, I was not trying to have a baby when I had her, and I think she just came at the most perfect time. She
Yeah.
came at a time where I was trying to heal myself from some things, and just having this other person give me this whole new purpose in this world was what I needed. And
Yeah.
she's the best kid. She was made for me.
Mhm.
Um, and so I guess long-winded way of saying she's my everything. And
love
even though
that.
it's not what I necessarily envisioned for how I would become a mother,
Yeah.
we talk now, my husband's like, if we had the option to like wait, but we didn't get Lennon, he's like,
There's no way.
absolutely not. No way. I
Yeah.
will always pick
Perfect.
Lennon at not the best time versus not Lennon on our own terms.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so she was just made for us.
I love that. Oh,
She's
that's
so
so
love baby.
I just want to
It's
squeeze
so
them.
so
Yeah,
good.
that's so
Sweet.
wonderful. Thank you for sharing all of that
Yeah.
and the hard pieces too,
Yeah.
postpartum and recovering from an eating disorder and all of that. Thank you
Absolutely.
so
Thank you
much.
for having
Yes,
me.
of
It was
course.
fun.